Stand by, stand by.
Okay.
Everybody good?
Okay.
Do it.
It's Chief Keith Meadows, it's KeithMeadows.
Okay, and just tell me how you came across Crayola.
We're extremely excited. We started getting tips from community members about the existence of Crayola in the 3100 block of Godby Road. I turned that information over to our gang and narcotics unit and did a magnificent investigation collaborating with the GBI along with the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department and Clayton County. And we're pleased that we were able to find Crayola as we executed 2 search warrants, one on Joan of Arc and then the one at the 3100 block of Godby Road.
What kind of condition was Crayola in when you found it?
She seemed very happy when we got there. In fact, I played with Crayola for several minutes when we first got her into the precinct, and she seemed well cared for.
Amazing closure on this story.
It is. Not to mention we got quite a few guns and some illegal narcotics off the street. We consider that a big win for the citizens of the city of South Fulton.
So Crayola helped you find the bad guys with the guns?
Absolutely. When I first started getting the information on social media, initially they felt like we weren't making enough traction on the investigation. And then I went back and met with our gang unit, and they said that they had started an investigation into that same building, and they hadn't gotten much traction with the investigation. Certainly that information came in. We met with the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department. They had bits and pieces of intelligence, and as we began to put the investigation together, certainly we were able to come to a successful conclusion.
And will you talk about what kinds of things that you found on social media that helped piece you to these people?
Well, they were actually talking about how the family came up here and they had been canvassing the neighborhood. They had gone on one occasion and encountered some of the suspects that were involved in the kidnapping of the 2 dogs. And at some point, we were able to get that information from the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department, the intelligence that they had gathered in addition to the information that we had. And putting those pieces of the puzzle together certainly was a big help for us.
And how many people did you arrest?
We arrested 5 individuals. We're currently seeking, we have an outstanding arrest warrant for 1 more individual, and hopefully we'll be working with the U.S. Marshals in an effort to try to capture that individual.
And is this like a family group of people? As far as I heard, this might be like a family, a mom and some of her children running some sort of crime ring? Well,
what we've been able to uncover is that they were all part of a gang called Sex Money Murder. And so we had been investigating them for quite some time, and certainly we're not finished with our arrest. We still have more investigation to do as it relates to this particular gang. And so we expect that hopefully over time we'll be able to identify all of the members of this gang and ultimately get them incarcerated.
How big do you think that gang is?
Well, we're tracking over 200 gangs in the Atlanta metropolitan area, not just in the city of South Fulton, and we don't know the extent of that gang, but we certainly know that it's much larger than the individuals that we have in custody. It's actually a national gang. And so we're trying to develop information as we move forward, and we certainly are not ruling out anything as a possibility.
Why do you think they wanted the dog?
Well, I don't think that they were specifically targeting these particular animals. We think that they were in the process of committing a slaughter crimes, and the dogs happened to be in the vehicle at that time.
And will you talk a little bit about some of the crimes that these people have been involved in previously, or things that you're linking them to?
Well, Sex Money Murder has been known to be a very violent street gang. As you can see, the amount of weapons that we took out of the 2 residents is an indication of the type of violence that they have the opportunity to escalate to. And so we're looking at armed robberies, aggravated assaults, and things of that nature. And so we haven't completely put the investigation together, but we're still following up on quite a few cases that we believe that they might have been involved in.
And what kind of guns did you have bring in?
Oh, David, you want to come up and come on. This is Sergeant McKessie. She's actually the narcotics unit supervisor, and then behind her we have Sergeant Keeler, who's actually the gang.
Okay, do you just say it's your name?
It's S. McKessie, McKesey.
Okay, and tell me what kind of guns?
We had an FN, we had a AK-47, and several Glocks, several 38s, and several ARs.
And will you just talk about, like, you know, the level of danger that these people bring to the community and what it means to get them off the streets?
I'll let Sergeant Taylor address that for the gang
Can you
part.
say and spell your name?
Taylor, T-E-A-L-E-R.
First name?
Just no Sergeant.
Okay.
Please. These individuals, again, as stated before, are members of Sex Money Murder Bloods, which are a traditional national gang, and we see that this group here, while they reside in one specific location, they actually roam out and actually venture into other jurisdictions, committing various crimes. As we saw what happened with this incident, they were actually committing crimes out in Rockdale, and that crime brought them back to 3100 Gabi, which was a group of individuals that we were previously investigating for other violent crimes and other property crimes.
And you guys spent weeks kind of doing surveillance, other stuff. Will you talk about what it took to make this bust?
It took a lot of man hours. It took a lot of man hours. I know,
Started back in September of this year.
yeah, I know we don't want to get specifics on what, but it took a lot of man hours of surveillance, investigations, arrests, to get us to where we are now.
So our gang unit and our narcotics unit is a little different than most. Sergeant Teeler and Sergeant McKessie, they actually operate as liaisons for the community. When we get complaints, they'll go out to community groups, they'll receive that information, they'll take it, and they'll take it back to their people who typically do the undercover work. And so they were the ones charged with the responsibility of orchestrating this particular investigation, and I have to say they did an outstanding job in this case.
All right, we're ready for you. You're great, Lola. Can y'all scoot over here just a little bit so you can hear? You're good with it? And we'll just start with you. And tell us your first name, last name, and spell your name.
Pre-Roldan, P-R-I-D-R-O-L-D-A-N.
Okay, and how long have you had Crayola?
Since she was born, she's 9 months now, so we bottle fed her, like, you know, we had her and she was our keeper.
And tell us what happened the day that she went missing.
Well, that would be more his, he was here
Yeah,
with.
pretty much, I left the car running, it was freezing that night, ran in to let her change her clothes from the dog show, and as I walked in, they pulled up and took the car. Immediately, I started texting the phone, like, please give us the dog, because I left my phone in my phone in the car, and I was like, please, you know, give us the dogs back, you can have everything, I'll pay you whatever. And obviously, we get no answers until now. It's just shocking to us that she's even just alive. It's been so long.
Yeah. So they took your car?
Took the car, took the dogs, the French Bulldog and Crayola. And we wound up getting the French Bulldog back a few days later. Obviously, we got extorted for some money, but it was worth it to
How
us.
much money?
$3,500.
Wow. So who did you pay that to? The people who took the dog?
One of the people who took the dog, yeah.
And did it come in like a ransom note or what?
They pretty much called me, met us at Walmart, and we did it like that.
So you saw them? You guys
Saw one of the guys, yeah, I met with them and just wanted to make it a smooth transaction so we could get the dog back in hopes that they would negotiate to give us this one too, and it didn't work that easy, so.
Why were they holding this one out?
I just think they sold both dogs in different areas. So one was over here, one was over there, and she's just more valuable to them. The other one's a boy, it's a French Bulldog, to them it's like a little dog. But to them, this is a female, you know, like a breeder, I'm sure they were thinking. So it was just shock to have it back.
And you guys have been like seeing these guys on social media. Will you talk about like some of the videos they posted with your car and just some of the like the craziness that you've been going through?
Well, we, I mean, as soon as we got everything, we pretty much turned it right over to the police. But they were calling, texting, because obviously, you know, my stuff was online, on the news and everything, our numbers. They were calling, texting, so we ended up finding them on Instagram, and, you know, we saw a lot of the things, but they were sending us pictures, and it always got to the place where we want money, but they were too scared to meet, because we'd show up with a bunch of police, or whatever the case may be, but, you know, we just are happy to have her. I just cannot believe she's here right now, it's a miracle.
Yeah,
It
what
really
was
is.
running through your mind when you saw her walk up?
To be honest, when I saw Sergeant McKessie, that was the first thing I just am so thankful, because she was the first person that like came to us and reached out to us, and this police department is amazing. You guys did such a good job. Like, I don't, you know, people are like, oh, it's just a dog, you know, because they don't have dogs, but they really are like our family. Like I said, I bottle fed her, you know, she's, you know, and Christine has trained her since the beginning. But I think the first thing that went through my head was thankfulness. I was just so thankful, so thankful.
Are you surprised that they went so far as to find your dog?
I am shocked. I mean, cars get stolen every day, but I think we're really happy for y'all's community. Seeing all the stuff that came down with Crayola made it so much more worth it. Like, somebody else will not get extorted. I'm sure a lot of cars won't get stolen, and for sure, I'm sure people will think twice about stealing a car with dogs in it. So, you know, you never realize how important they are till they're not with you.
What does it say about a police department, that, you know, like South Fulton County, to go out their way, to go the extra mile? You know, obviously this could have happened in a, you know, much major city like in Atlanta or Sandy Springs, but for a police department this size, this magnitude, to really go out their way to have a result like this, what does it say about them?
I think it gives people hope for humanity. You know, when my husband posted it, I think within 3 minutes, there was 70-something shares. Within an hour, it was like 700 shares when they found her. I mean, it is honestly a miracle, and it gives people hope that, you know, that police, you know, you don't always think, oh my gosh, they're always out to get you, or oh my God, they're gonna get me in on a ticket, or whatever the case may be. But it really does give us hope, you know, that they are working hard for us, you know.
How do you think Crayola is doing?
I think she's doing really good. She was, I don't know if you guys have ever felt a dog hug, but it does feel like a human hug, so, you know, it's crazy. She's kind of used to the cameras now, it looks like, though. I mean, she's on camera with Christine when she shows her, so, but she's super comfortable.
And how does she show her? For her looks, or for the way she walks, or what kind of show dog is she?
Well, she's a confirmation. So just like Westminster, we have 4 judges, we have an actual ring. They are shown, she stacks her up, they check the bite, she shows them their bite, she gates them around the ring. You know, it's very much a regular dog show. She's, one major from champion? Yeah, from being a champion. So we're very proud of her and Crayola.
Does she have new treats and toys waiting at home?
Actually, people sent, like our friends from the dog shows, sent her Christmas presents, and they're still there waiting, so we're excited to get her. She has a lot coming. A steak, for sure. Whatever she wants.
Were you worried about the way they treated her?
For sure. I think that was, like, as the time went on, it got to be like 25 days, and we were like, I think even as soon as that morning, Sergeant McKessie kept in contact with us, which she did not have to do, and she, you know, just with every step, as soon as she found her, she called, but at that point, we were just wanting answers. So we were scared, like, if she was alive, or what condition she would be in. So when we did see her, she sent us a picture out immediately, so we were able to see her, and it was immediate tears from we just couldn't believe it, you know, so.
And how many days has it been to have her?
It's 28 today, yeah. 28, but not anymore. No more counting the days, I'll tell you that.
So you got both the dogs back and the car?
The car was recovered, and it was a rental car. We have insurance, so that was never really the concern. She lost her awards, her phones, and stuff like that, like little material things, but I mean, and we probably, actually, I know that we would have just filed an insurance claim if it would have been that, you know, but when it's your family, it's your family. And thanks to Alexa, man, she really got the story out there fast for us, Alexa.
We're here for you. I'm happy, I'm excited too. Christine, what do you think of all this?
Well, I'm just